Guys, Linkin Park released a new album, and we have to talk about it because it's pop. And I consider myself a poptimist. There's a lot of tracks that I really like that are poppy and pandering, but this is straight trash. It is the most flaccid, uninspired, melodramatic album I've heard in a few years. And I think what it really does for me is kind of tear down this legacy I had for Linkin Park. Now, I know we've already had our hearts broken by Minutes to Midnight and 1,000 Suns, and then we thought maybe we were getting it back with The Hunting Party. But honestly, those albums had a bit of merit to them. I think that even though they were taking on a more radio-friendly sound, they were still bringing something to the table with. I enjoyed some of their past experiments that everybody thought was going to kill their fan base. Like, 1,000 Suns is honestly a great album with all of its different textures and various moods. I think that everybody was just getting an initial shock from the lack of guitar presence. Now, this album, on the other hand, is so fucking awful. This album is pandering. It's trendy pop music from 2 years ago. Any of these tracks would have been #1 on the playlist in 2015. But nowadays, they feel like if you were to take the top 40, pick out 10 songs that were the most boring, and then have one band cover them in this electro-pop style, that's what this album is. It's the 10 worst songs on the Billboard chart. Some of these songs are a little bit better than others. Like, I think Heavy, although it's melodramatic and very pandering, has a sticky hook. It's the only one that sticks in my head at the end of the day. But then there's songs like Good Goodbye and The Closer, Sharp Edges, which are honest to God insulting. They are cringeworthy as fuck and just melodramatic to the core. And what this album ended up doing and kind of ruining for me is, after looking at these lyrics and being like, these are fucking awful. Have they always been this awful? Because I know melodrama has always been Linkin Park's taste. So I went back and I looked, and now I feel less about the old albums that they have, because these new ones are just really showing me how stale and awful these lyrics were from the start. It's just, it hurts, because it's now taking something that I loved and just bringing it down a notch, being like, hey, you know how you thought that was really deep? It's actually shit. It's just